I gave her what I thought to be fallacious arguments in order to win a debate. I feel bad about that because I think that's informed her theology, which I consider to be fallacious. She and I agree on this. And she's willing to have that conversation about why I think the positions I gave her were fallacious. Um, but
But you are going to be arguing
aside
against
from that,
yourself now?
well, yeah, I'd be arguing against the positions that I gave her, which are not my own. But they're the ones that I gave her that I think are fallacious. They're just conveniently avoiding the problems that would have been brought up in her debate with Jimmy and Declan.
This. Make sure we maintain our
All right.
stacks. Kha'Zix is doing pretty well. Minus the level 1.
Yeah. So I just wanted to preamble that with the idea that the arguments that I gave her, she and I both know that I think that they're fallacious. So
Awesome.
there's no dishonesty on my part in giving those. I don't think there's any dishonesty in her part in giving those arguments because I think she holds them naively because she's not aware of the counter arguments against them.
Walk away. Pop
What are the arguments?
Pop all the plants. There we go.
Well, there's this the idea of infallibility, which is held by the Orthodox Church, not the Western Christian Church or Roman Catholicism, that Scripture is infallible in virtue of the fact that it cannot fail to fulfill its purpose, which is an intentional argument, right? So if it is the case that is entails intentions by God, and we have no access to God's intentions, then that would just be begging the question to say that it cannot fail.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I mean, there's others. We can go through those positions, but Kathleen agreed to come in here because she knew that I told her that everybody felt that she was arguing dishonestly because I know better than to make the points that she was making, and I gave those points to her to make those arguments against Declan and Jimmy.
I'm a little confused.
I confused them there.
I mean, that wasn't the reason I was calling her dishonest. I mean,
Well, the other reason why that she was being called dishonest was because she came in and said that Declan was, and I gave her the video, right? The idea was that Declan was the final boss of Krillism. She came in and she won the debate against Declan, and summarized it that everybody else was peasants in the recording, and said that I had said that she won the debate, which wasn't true. If that's the case, if she said that I said that, then that's not the case.
from what I understand, she denied saying that she claimed victory in the debate.
Yeah, I can't speak for her on that. I mean, Kat, you're gonna have to like reconcile these sort of claims like as they come.
Hmm?
I can't speak for Kat in that regard.
Did you give her the arguments with the intention of her using them against Declan?
I can't hear her. She's talking.
Nor can I.
Not talking.
She said something, but somebody talked over it.
I said, is this where I'm supposed to talk? Yeah, I didn't think I claimed any kind of victory at first. But then I got into a pissy mood and I said, fuck it, yeah, I fucking won that debate. Straw poll said I won it, right? I won the debate, right? I said that shit. I didn't say it at first, but after a period of time, I was just like, fuck it, yeah, I won that shit.
Okay, well that resolves that.
So one of the things that was brought to me that like everybody was like confronting me on was that you had said that I said that you had won the debate. And as far as I recall, in terms of you and I's PMs, that I said that that I thought you did very well, but not that you won, because there's that's a normative claim, right? So we would have to ask what standards. And I explained earlier today what I thought it would mean to win that debate for a person, and people are saying that you came in and said that I said that you won the debate. I just wanted to divorce myself from that claim.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever said something like that or not, but I mean, I don't think I said something like that. If I said anything like that, I think I said something effective. I think there's a lot of people that thought I did very well, including you.
Okay, yeah, that would be consistent with what I told you, because that is the case. I told you I thought that you did well considering the circumstances, and the people questioning the veracity of that. I said, look, if it's okay with Kathleen, I'll just share our text messages or share our private messages between each other immediately after the debate about you doing well. But your admittance of that, I don't think necessitates that.
That, what would you say to screenshot evidence after the?
What do you mean screenshot evidence?
Like if I had a,
The thing you posted in the general chat?
yeah, I have to say that.
I don't have anything to say that that wasn't on this platform.
Why would that matter?
It's just not on this platform
Yeah, but why would that matter?
because that was meant for other people. Right? Like I didn't say anything.
So your defense is that you're two-faced?
No, my defense is that I didn't say anything to anyone in here. I still felt like I won the debate regardless. Right? It was my position that I did a better job of arguing my points than he did. That in my mind would be considered a victory. Would that not be considered in your mind, at least, a victory? If you were the one holding the debate and you felt you did a better position, you would say, yeah, I think I won that. I think I did a better job. Right? I didn't come right out and say that in this room up until I got pissed off and I was just like, you know what, fuck you, I won.
You got pissed off at the room?
So you got pissed off right after the debate? Is that what you're saying, Ben? Is that why you said that?
No. It's a couple days.
Well, no, that's what Ben said, that it was after the debate. You said you won pretty much right away, right, Ben? Is that what you're saying?
No, I didn't say anything on this platform about it. I posted somewhere else. I was like, yeah, you know what? Another debate victory. Come see me on the Skylar Fiction Show. Right? Because in my mind, that was true. Right? But I wasn't, like, there was no point in bringing that up in here because, you know, people were going to agree, people were going to disagree. There was no point in having an argument or a conversation about it up until it kept
You
getting,
mean you didn't say anything because you knew we'd be honest?
No, absolutely not. It just wasn't worth having
Come
because
on.
I know the context of this room, right? And so
They
I did,
hold
but
your feet
after
to
a
the
couple
fire.
days, you know, I was like, well, you know what? Here's this straw poll. I didn't make it. You guys did. Bacon Bone was, I think you were the original one that posted it. I got more votes, you know, and then it was, oh,
I
straw
don't
polls
remember.
have been
I don't think
manipulated.
you won. You didn't win no straw poll.
Absolutely I did. Right?
She
Absolutely.
won by 1 vote, but she went from 1 to 14 to 15 to 14.
That was also like what, a couple weeks later.
Well, the 15 to 14 happened within like 18 hours. Right, I just kept watching it. I was
Look,
interested.
look,
That's all.
Kathleen. Everybody
That's
knows
none of-
straw polls aren't
look,
reliable.
Wait.
Right.
One
None of
thing.
it-
18 hours is weird because right now it's sitting at 15-15. Are you going to say the straw poll says that you didn't win now?
What now?
The last time I looked at it
15-15.
was 15-15.
Well, then it would be a fucking tie, wouldn't it?
So you're not
I
going to
haven't-
say that the
I
straw
haven't
poll
checked
says
it
you won
in 2 or
anymore.
3 days.
So you're not
Well,
going
if
to say the
that
straw
was
poll.
true, then no, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it anymore if that was true, right? I haven't checked that poll in day. Look, you're missing the point, right? I came in here,
False.
I said what happened. I've been honest. What more do you fucking want?
Your honesty was a lie.
Your honesty was a lot.
Wasn't the outcome all he had to do was find one verse that said homosexuality was a sin?
Look,
and
I'm
that
not
the debate was over.
rehashing.
That was it, right?
I'm
It was
not-
over.
Bacon,
I'm not
bacon,
rehashing
bacon.
the
Just,
debate.
just let that.
All right. Okay.
She's about to eject.
Yeah, I'm not in here to rehash the debate for the 15th millionth time. Right, I came in here because Michael asked me to.
So the idea is this, that, so everybody's clear, because I want to say this one more time, so it's absolutely clear, that the arguments that I gave her are fallacious. She knows that I think that they're fallacious. I gave them to her as a debate tactic to use against people that I think are difficult interlocutors in terms of debates. But she knows that, and we can have that discussion. Those points specifically that I think they're fallacious on. But just so everybody's aware that I'm not defending the positions that I gave her. It was a matter of tactics. With respect to the other stuff about like dishonesty, like I mean, I think Kathleen's conceded that I didn't say that she won the debate. With respect to her claims about winning the debate, that's going to be that's an issue.
Yeah, that's not an interesting conversation for me to have.
Yeah.
Anything else? Nope. Good.
Hey, just one more
Got
thing.
that wrapped up.
Do you think that Darth Dawkins won't talk to you because he's scared of you?
I think Darth Dawkins doesn't want to talk to me because he considers me a troll, but it's fun to say I think he's scared of me.
Oh, okay. So that's been debunked too. We're making a lot of progress here. Wow, we're running out of things. I mean, this is great.
Did you have like a large backlog?
There are people that thought that that was a serious claim you were making.
No. Darth doesn't want to talk to me because I'm a fucking tranny and he thinks I'm a troll.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think. People actually thought, well, at least one person, Josh, actually said that he thought that it was because he was scared of you. That's just ridiculous.
Right, it's fun to go around and say he's scared of me, right? The 1 or 2 times that he's debated me, I think he did shit, right? Now all he does is character attack me, right? That's all he does. That's all he's got. He doesn't want to actually challenge me, whether or not that is him being scared or him just, you know, not wanting to waste time on a tranny. I don't fucking know what that goes through that man's head.
Well, we're never gonna have.
But I would lean
direct
towards the fact he doesn't want to talk to me for the same reason he doesn't want to talk to any of the other trannies, because he doesn't like trannies.
I think so.
So the other thing too, before the conversation goes to Embers, was this, that people had a vested interest in you and I, or hearing me explain to you what the problems were with the arguments that I gave you. And so we can do that. I don't think that's, I think you and I are honest enough interlocutors where we could have a dialogue that would not be like contentious, where we could talk about why I think those arguments that I gave you were fallacious. So
Yeah,
we should do that. We should do that sometime, so that you're aware of the problems and that these are merely debate tactics, not
Yeah,
tenable
we can do that,
philosophical arguments.
and we can also say to the room that just to let you know that I apologize to Layla for my reprehensible treatment of her last night, and she accepted my apology.
I wish I had witnessed that. Anyway, I think that you can test whether or not it's because Darth Dawkins finds Kathleen to be repugnant, and you can test that by just having Kathleen give someone else the arguments, not knowing and not letting Darth Dawkins know that someone else is running the arguments. Then if someone else runs the arguments, he'll probably run away from them as well because he's a coward.
Well, I mean, what if he thought the arguments were stupid, right? And just not worth pick. I mean, that wouldn't prove
That
it.
wouldn't tell it. That wouldn't tell you whether or not that he thinks the arguments are stupid, but it would tell you whether or not he's running away from it because the person is repugnant, which is what you claimed.
Why would that unless they were also a tranny?
Wait, so not if someone was a trans. No, look, the argument can be given by a non-trans person, right?
And
Right, and
if
if he
Darth
engages-
runs away, then we had no way of knowing if it's because he is scared of the argument or he considers them stupid.
Yeah, but
Well, Darth will tell you.
right.
if he's
So then that. So it doesn't. I just said it doesn't tell you that, but it tells
no,
you that.
the way you test it is you just bait Kathleen just baits Darth. She says something stupid and it'll bait Darth into debating her because he's going to jump on her for saying something stupid, and that will show that it's not because he's disgusted by her.
Yeah, that's another way to do it. But the whole point is saying that it's not. I was saying he's running from the arguments. It could be because he thinks she's stupid, but I don't think it's because she's repugnant, and that's the point.
I don't know. At this point, I just like to pick on Darth.
Yeah, not even Kat believes that, Josh.
Like,
Kat
I
doesn't
don't think
believe what?
that. I don't think that Darth.
He doesn't
Like,
believe that
I-
he's
I-
scared of her.
Yeah, I think that Darth doesn't want to debate me because he doesn't like trannies and he thinks I'm a troll. But I also don't know if he has an answer.
Yeah, you're dumb for thinking that.
I think
also
you're
don't know
dumb,
if he
Josh.
has For the points.
You think that EF doesn't debate her because he thinks she's a troll?
Well, that's generally the
That's
excuse.
fucking
that he gives,
ridiculous.
isn't it?
I think what
Any-
you're proposing
anybody-
is ridiculous. Gigi, you really believe that?
Right, like I think that see Josh, I don't know, right? Because like generally what I see Darth do, right, is anybody that he doesn't like want to debate, he just calls a troll. So I don't know if he actually considers them a troll or if that's just his cop-out mechanism for not wanting to debate someone that he thinks he can't beat. I don't know what goes on in that man's head. But I
Look,
do
Tom,
witness
if you want to hold EF's feet to the fire about her being a troll, you know he won't have any fucking answers. Like he'll run away from you for that. Could humiliate troll. He doesn't do that. So just hold his feet to the fire. Just be like, okay, well, why do you think he defines a troll as someone purposefully obstructing? And so you just ask, well, it seemed to me like she was giving arguments. And then you could just ask Kathleen, well, what were the arguments that you were giving? And then you'd ask Darth, well, how is that obstruction? He's not going to give a fucking answer, right? And that's his definition of a troll, is someone who's being obstructive. So he doesn't believe she's a fucking troll. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, the 2 times I've tried to debate Darth, I did try to debate him.
I mean, I
honestly.
don't think that's the only quality of a troll for Darth.
I think
Well, if you're trying to piss someone off, that's not good. Fine. Darth is
I
totally
can't
not
understand what you're saying. We just go back.
control, right?
Gosh, you're roboting really badly.
Robot.
I know that anytime I'm in a room, Dawkins comes in the room, and I'm talking, he makes
Okay,
up kind of
Yeah, you're roboting now.
Sean, you're roboting.
Oh my god, it's the server! It's the
Tom, you want
server!
to change the? You want to change the?
Kung Fu.
I had to change it to West.
We all just got raptured.
Can I ask what the behavior towards Layla was?
Oh,
I
I
mean, I
was
could-
nasty towards Layla last night. I called her a sociopath and a crackhead
That's hilarious.
Why'd you do that?
because I felt like she was acting like a sociopath and a crackhead.
How does a crackhead act?
Like an addict, right? They just can't, they just gotta have that crack. But look, like I should not have treated Layla like that. Like no one deserves to be treated that way. It's not representative of the person that I think I am. So I apologize to her.
Hmm.
But you didn't think what you said was incorrect.
No, but that is regardless. Simply because I think a person is acting in a certain way doesn't mean there's ways to, state what I said in a manner that is not insulting.
That's fine, but just for the record, you think she is a sociopath and a crackhead, but you shouldn't have said so to her.
No, I think that she was displaying a behavior that just didn't set right with me. Sociopath was probably not a good choice of a word, nor was crackhead, right? And she later on said in the room, yeah, I think I was egging this on, right? But her egging it on does not excuse my behavior towards her.
Did we get the information on whether or not Darth or Jimmy?
I couldn't hear what you said.
Josh thinks he's
Oh damn! I
scared
had my mic up. I said, did we figure out whether it was Darth or Jimmy?
Darth or Jimmy what?
I'm guessing. That's
Oh yeah, there's some sort of discrepancy as to like what has been the accounts of why you became a Christian.
Well, I think I've made it pretty clear about my initiations with Darth Dawkins and how I came about Darth Dawkins and how I found Darth Dawkins arguments and who introduced me to Darth Dawkins arguments. I think
Yeah,
I'm pretty
that's
clear about
consistent
those
with
things.
what I remember, but there's somebody saying that's not the case.
Well, no, I think I don't think Richie gave you any opposing information. Now, Richie was the one that brought me to Discord. Richie was the one that brought me to the Christian philosophy chat. That's where I met Tyler Vela and Vincent Bonson and Jimmy Stevens and Dave from State Farm. It's where I met all of them.
Right, but you found out about Dawkins before that.
Before CP? I don't think I ever said that, Tom. I'm pretty sure that I said that I found out about Dawkins through CP about finding out about the presuppositionalist argument. And then I was like, ooh, what is this? And then you type in presuppositionalist and this dude named Darth Dawkins comes up and he's debating. And I'm like, oh, wow, this really
Yeah, that
makes
was on
sense.
YouTube, you said, right?
Yeah, like he was debating with, I don't even remember who he was debating with at this point. Might have been on that Dawkins Greatest Hits or whatever YouTube thing. It might have been Alex Malp. I don't remember who he was debating. There's tons of them, right? There's tons of videos of him debating, but the ones that I watched, the ones that people said, here, watch this, right? He was all like calm and charitable and like, yeah, you know, like just like a normal person. Like I'd never seen the opposite side of fuck you, sit down, you're a fucking troll, suck my dick, right? I'd never seen any of that until I witnessed it firsthand. And then
Yeah.
it got turned on me.
Yeah, there was a disagreement about how you became a presuppositionalist.
I mean, pretty much everybody in the CP server is a presupper. But I argued against them for a long time, right? They just didn't present it in the same way Darth presented it in this video.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I thought the disagreement was how Cat converted, and you said that he converted to Christianity through Darth Dawkins, and then I said no, that's not the case.
She just affirmed that. That's the first thing she said. I asked, how'd you become a Christian? She said, Darth.
Christian or
No,
precept,
no.
Cat?
No, there's a difference. Yeah, there's a difference between precept and Christian, right? Right. So you guys asked me, you know, why I was.
No, you
Christian
said you
or whatever when
became Christian.
Yeah, you didn't
guys
say.
asked
I didn't say
me-
precept.
You guys asked me when I first joined the server, you know, how did you become a Christian? I said I was logically convinced by the presuppositionalist method, right? And I brought up
as displayed by Darth.
As
yeah,
rendered
as
by Darth.
displayed by Darth. Yeah, because Darth did a really good job, right? That doesn't mean that there weren't other people giving it to me, right? The presuppositionalist brought me over the edge and said, okay, you know, yeah, this is true, right? But the conversion, the true conversion, like the repentance in Christianity, like that happened with a guy named Dave Johnson. Hello? I'm doing good.
Conversion into Christianity happened with Dave Johnson, not Darth.
Well, come on, Darth.
So Darth did the precept, right?
So Cat, just to be clear, Cat, to be clear, you were a Christian before you even met Darth Dawkins, right?
Yeah. Like I'd watched a couple of his videos, but I didn't meet Darth until I don't even remember where I met Darth. I think I might have met him in here. Like person to person met him. I think I may have met him here. No, it was in the Calliopean Club. I think that's where I met Darth for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. There's just not going to be a resolution on this. I mean, she's kind of basically affirmed both, but kind of was able.
I mean, it all happened about the same basic time, right? Like precept was like, okay, God logically exists, right? But simply because you say God logically exists doesn't mean you have repented of your sins or anything like that, right? So I had like a 4-hour conversation with this guy named Dave Johnson. I was like, all right, walk me through all this. How does all, you know, blah, 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 blah. I was sitting at my kitchen counter about 11 o'clock at night. I remember the exact moment that it happened. Presuppositionalism doesn't save you.
Yeah, well, Richie and I had a disagreement because he was saying that you were given the precept by Jimmy Stevens.
Yeah, Jimmy and Christopher Tiny
they were the
Tofi,
first
and then
the
Cat
first
wrote a
people to have a
17. Cat wrote a 17 paper trying to debunk it, and then I said that he talked to a person named Tyler Vela and Dave, and then one day became a Christian.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, so they gave you the argument, and then you didn't accept it.
So, yeah, they gave me Jimmy Stevens, Tiny Tofi, Greg Bonson, right? They spent weeks freaking precepting me, and I was just like, screw this. This is a stupid argument. Here's a 20-page paper. Y'all are wrong. But eventually I got convinced, and I think one of the big reasons I got convinced was watching a video that Darth Dawkins was in where he was explaining presuppositionalism.
Jesus.
But again, that just because you say, okay, God logically exists doesn't mean that you've like accepted Jesus or anything like that. Those two things don't follow. I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah.
So,
Well, unless you mean that, unless by God you mean the God which is in the Bible.
Right, like I'm saying, like you said, okay, you've convinced me that God exists, but that doesn't, simply because you've convinced doesn't mean you've sat down and said, okay, you exist, forgive me, right? That doesn't necessarily come right away.
We heard you earlier today in, I think it was ACA. You were talking about solipsism. Do you remember that?
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, you made an argument that's something like, solipsism isn't a genuinely held belief because one doesn't act as if they're in accord with solipsism, something like that, right?
Yep. Solipsists
Oh,
don't
that's
act like
retarded.
solipsists.
Yeah, that just seems like a bad argument.
yeah, it's a
Maybe a bad
horrible argument.
argument.
Huh?
Maybe a bad argument, but you know,
Well, if you sin, does that mean that you're not a Christian?
so I think the difference there is when a solipsist claims that he can't know anything and then lives out the entirety of
I
his
don't
life
think a solipsist claims that.
we were talking about hard solipsism, not just like run-of-the-mill solipsism. We're talking
Right,
about
a hard
guys who just
solipsism.
nothing
Solipsist.
exists but me.
No,
It's
a
not
hard,
that
Everything else-
a hard solipsist is just going to say that he's the only mind that exists.
Yeah, well, that's basically, I mean, look, that's just semantics at that point.
No, it's a very, very important distinction. There's nothing about I can't know anything or.
Yeah, I don't think a hard solipsist would posit they can know anything other than their own existence.
I mean, do you count their experiences as something that they know?
Yeah, but that's their existence, not anyone else's.
Yeah, but there's a refutation against that.
Right? Like, my joke about solipsism is that we're just all part of a solipsist's existential nightmare.
I think the refutation is something like there's too much knowledge for us to have, for us to be able just to have it by ourselves or in our brain. I think that's what JC told me. It's very similar to the refutation of idealism.
I don't know. So I'm more interested in the argument that you gave, right? So if I think that I'm the only mind that exists and the other people that I experience aren't real people, they're just constructs of my own mind. And if I don't just ignore someone or shoot someone in the face or, don't go to work because it's not really a job, I don't really have a boss, if I don't do those things, then I don't really believe that, I'm the only mind that
No, you
exists.
do those things. That's the problem that I see, right? They do act in a manner that would lead me to believe from an observation standpoint that they accept the fact that they are not the only mind that exists. Even though they claim it, they don't seem to live in a rational manner that would lead me to believe that that's what
What's
they
irrational
actually
about that?
well, you claim that nothing exists but you, but then you act as though everything does exist. That seems a bit contrary to me.
Why?
Because if I didn't think that anything existed but me and this was all a matrix, right, there would be no consequences to my actions other than what I made up. So I could do anything.
Yeah,
And
but it
if
would
I
still
didn't
hurt.
want to suffer the consequences, I would just change reality.
That what?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, look, solipsism's not like a lucid dream where you can just fucking do whatever the fuck you want.
I would just change reality. They
Yeah,
still have to
you're
exist
not-
within the rules that their mind has created or whatever
Right,
thing
you're
is
not-
created. Right?
Yeah, but
Solipsism doesn't
their
say that you're Neo.
Look, if I am, look, dum. Look. If I was in a fucking, if I was solipsism, right? If I was solipsism, if I was in a solipsistic world and I was the only mind, and I was experiencing what I am now, and I go and rape somebody, I get put in jail. I'm still gonna be fucking sad that I'm in jail. Still gonna hate the fact I'm in jail. So why would I do that to myself?
Yeah, but solipsism is simply a creation of you. Or, I mean, the jail is just simply a creation
Still
of your
sucks.
mind. Is it not?
Sucks.
So
dude.
what? It still sucks.
Jail.
I still
If
don't want
I
to be in
set
there.
my
Just-
hand on
so
fire,
just-
the feeling of pain is also me.
But
just
saying, look,
change
even though you
reality.
experience this as it's real, Kathleen, you're saying I should go cut off my foot because who cares? It's not real. Even
So
though
just-
you're going to experience it as if it's real, you should just go cut off your foot.
So just change reality.
It doesn't
Right.
work like that, dude.
Kathleen,
It's
I don't have
creation of
access to
your-
the
it's a
ability.
creation-
Can you please put your
Kathleen?
Can you please put your
You
mucker
create.
leaf,
You
Jovan?
hold on. You created the reality to begin with.
Dio, I
Your
thought you
mind
can't hear me.
created Your
Try to stay
mind
consistent,
created-
Dio.
Your mind created the reality that you live in, correct? That's the solipsist position, that his mind is the only mind that exists, so reality must be a construct of his mind, correct?
Yes.
No, it doesn't say it's
Yeah,
conscious.
I
No,
don't
wait,
think that's
no.
necessary. I don't think that's.
It doesn't mean
necessary.
the outside world itself doesn't exist. It just means that other minds don't exist.
Well, how does the outside world not exist if nothing else in it exists? That doesn't make any sense to
It
me.
doesn't say nothing else in it exists.
No other minds
If-
exist.
But
Well,
wait,
there's
can
a
we
lot-
just say address that? Kathleen is saying because her mind created the pain, then that makes it
So, wait a
not
second, hold
real
on. No, hold on.
or
Aki,
not
hold on.
something to be avoided.
So what you're telling me is the solipsist believes that the dirt exists and the clouds exist and the
It
planet
could.
exists.
Good.
Just nothing else on it, right? The dogs don't actually exist, the deer don't actually exist, and all the humans don't actually
I don't think
exist.
deers
That's
are deer are mine.
right. So okay, then fine. All the other humans, right? So all the other humans are just a figment of his imagination.
That's possible. It's possible. It's possible.
Okay, so I have the ability to change figments of my imagination. I do it all the time when I dream.
Okay.
So if I kill someone, right? Why can't I just simply pop out of existence the people that are sentencing me to jail? Oh, you want to sentence me to jail? Guess what? You're a figment of my imagination. Pop, see ya. You're gone.
When
No
you're
jail
having a
time.
nightmare, why don't you just stop?
Well, you can
do.
stop having a nightmare. You can force yourself to wake up in a nightmare. I do it all the time, right? Whenever I'm having a nightmare, for some reason I figured out that if I convince myself that I'm falling, I will wake up,
I don't believe that for 1 minute.
right?
I
And
don't
it-
believe that for 1 minute.
Well,
It just.
I
It
don't
just.
really care.
It just. You're just like begging the question.
No, but tell me where I'm wrong, right? Like, so if they believe that minds are just a figment of their
There's
imagination,
there's no
if that's what the
entailment.
figment is,
There's no entailment. Any.
but you agreed that
if
they
you-
could be figments.
Look, sure. Depending on their view of solipsism, it doesn't matter. right?
Yeah, it depends.
So-
There's no entailment that the world that they experience is alterable by them.
Okay, but why? Why? Right? If it is, if I grant that they only think that the other minds don't exist, the other minds are the figments, so all the people walking around are the figments, right? Why can't they just change the dream? Why can't they wake up from one dream and start a new
Why
one?
is it
That has
Right? If they
necessary?
can't necessarily
Why-
change that one, why can't
why
they
is
wake up?
it
Like, is this
necessary?
The
Kathleen,
one
man.
statement. The one statement had nothing to do with the other, Kathleen.
is this
Okay,
like the
you also have to
never-ending
distinguish
story?
between like somebody who's like a hard solipsist and a soft solipsist. Like people who have
It's going to be an
soft solipsism.
epistemological solipsist versus a metaphysical solipsist.
And in
Hey,
addition, Kathleen, if you're a solipsist, right, like you could think that like you're a brain in a vat, and or that you're hooked up to like a simulation, right, and then within the confines of the programming, it would just consistently work.
Is that
as-
fucking Zycron?
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen.
Oh
I'm gonna
my
have
God.
to. I'm gonna have to put a bookmark in this. I'll be back in like 10 minutes.
Because Zycron's here to straighten everything up.
I'm very
Jesus
enlightening.
Christ.
Look, there's just no necessary.
I am the biggest brain in this room.
It's just not necessary if like everything is a construct of one's mind, that it's like controllable, like you have this reality stone or whatever the fuck, and you can just change everything that you want to at any time.
Why can't they just change it? What? Why not?
Another debate one. Check that off my list. Give me.
Another debate one. Kathleen is going to be on the Skylar Fiction show tomorrow. If you want her to wreck anyone for you, just send moi a message. Where's Layla? I want to hear about this thing that happened with her. Again.
Wait, did Dial wrote a message about Layla and then deleted it?
Do you have mod logs?
I have it recorded so I can see.
No, you don't. It doesn't show up in the logs if you delete your own message.
Dio, you might as well just say what it is because I'm gonna know.
You're missing the point, Jovan. He's got the text chat recorded.
No, I know that. I was just replying to Christian.
No, I was just wondering if you had a mod chat set up for admins that record.
What did you say, Tom? You're talking to me? You're talking to someone else?
Motherfucker, I'm talking.
I just came back into my room.
Holy shit, I don't care.
Be sure Agnes.
Sit the fuck down and wait your turn.
Listen, whore, shut up. I'm talking to Tom.
Keep baking it, Tom.
Nobody cares about you.
That is true, Switchy. That is true.
Mm-hmm. What is he doing?
Jeez, Dio, you don't sound too good, man. What's going on over there?
What do you mean? I'm looking for something. Jesus, what do you mean?
Jesus Christ, how out of shape are you?
He's just moving around a little bit.
Moving your finger on a trackpad, is that exhausting?
I'm not moving my finger. I'm not even by my computer.
Where are you?
Well, I'm in my room. I mean, I'm by my computer, but I'm not next to it.
Why would you lie to us like that?
Oh my God, I'm a liar. Oh my God, you got me.
No, I see you're a liar. It's just pathetic.
Michael,
that
can
make
you
that much
give me
noise
more
over and over.
on Kathleen's?
Yeah.
I want to know.
To be fair, we did say he was a liar.
I want to
earlier.
know how she reacted to the direct evidence that she did, in fact, say that she.
So what happened was
That was
that
equivocation, Socrates, by the way.
What?
Saying we did say it. When I said we didn't say it, I was referring to just then, not how we never said it.
Sorry, I just wanted to establish.
Get wrecked, faggot.
You got me, John.
Michael, go ahead.
Can we not use that word, Sean?
That's true.
Faggot?
Yeah, that one.
Socrates, is it true that you're a nigger?
What?
I thought you were a white
Can we
man.
let Michael
Anyways.
Michael, guys, can I just hear this from Michael?
Okay. We'll get to this later, Dio.
All right.
All right.
All right. So I was laughing. So Kathleen and I started in on the one-on-one discussion about the whole bullshit. I called her out on yes, on me, because that's grammatically correct, and she denied it. So then you gave me the record, and I played the recording after only after I asked her about bragging or bragging on Declan, and she said that she didn't. And so then when I played the recording, her response was, "Did I really call them peasants?" And I said, "Well, it's right there in the recording. So yeah, you called them peasants." And she didn't say anything after that. When I confronted her about, when I confronted her about lying about what I had said, she started backpedaling, much like she did when she got in here. Now, the only other thing to tell is when Layla joined. Layla didn't want to, after last night, because I didn't know about last night. Apparently, Layla didn't want to go into the private conversation with Kathleen because she was upset. No shit, who wouldn't be? considering the things that she said. And I said, look, if you don't have anything to say, that's fine. But she's wanting to apologize. Layla came into the room. Molly was there. Molly backing up on this. Kathleen apologized to Layla, and Layla just accepted it and said she forgave Kathleen. It was sort of uneventful. I think the thing that you're wanting me to say is how did, like you're wanting details about how she reacted to the recording. But that was all really uninteresting as well.
Oh, that's a shame. It sounds like she just gave up in the face of like undeniable hard evidence.
What time was this, Mike?
Yeah.
Because she talked to Leela and Kathleen was speaking last night around. It was late. I mean, it must have been around past 10.
So just for a quick recap for everyone, Kathleen was denying that she claimed that she won the debate against Declan. So she forced my hand. I had to go pick out the recording. This recording, in fact, and I'll play it for you.
Tastes accepts, then my prediction is incorrect, right?
This is why I'm dumb.
Look, if I will debate Declan, I will debate anyone in this room. I took on the final boss. The rest of you are just lowly little peasants. And I won.
No. Yeah, so it seems like that's clearly counter evidence to her claim.
So one of the reasons that she gave why that happened was she was just like caught up in the shit talking on her and was kind of posturing. So I don't know. That's just an element. I'm not excusing her behavior or anything. I'm just saying.
Why do you stand up for Kathleen so hard?
I am not standing up for her. I'm not excusing her behavior, begging. I'm just
Michael-
saying that
Michael-
that's all I'm offering is a biographical account of what occurred in that conversation. That's it.
Michael's a
I'm not.
Michael's a black belt now.
You two-faced.
Yeah, Michael's a butt toucher. It's official.
He's a black belt.
Fuck you guys. Fuck all of you.
But
He's a black belt.
it's just weird to think that that's her excuse there, but immediately after the debate, have screenshot evidence of her claiming victory. And it's weird to say that she has another excuse for that, but that there aren't other instances. And then if we find those other instances, that there won't also be specific excuses for those.
Well, look, so somebody tagged me and said, look what Kathleen has renamed herself, which was the Rational Christian, right? And I kind of laughed about this just tongue in cheek because Matthew Bell runs around saying he's the rational theist, right? But everybody knows that that position can only be held irrationally. And she knows this, and I've explained it to her before. So when I explained it, why it can't be held rationally, why nobody can call her irrational for the belief, but it's just irrational for her to call herself a rational Christian. Just seems to sort of fly in the face of the explanation that she was given, unless she has an argument to defeat that Christianity is an irrational belief. I don't see why she'd be doing that.
So really, irrational.
That's right. A-R-A.
Irrational.
Yeah, A-double-R-A, but A-R-A.
Chum is correct here.
Way too close to irrational. Oh fuck.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that Kathleen chose to stop doubling down.